what do you think of what we're doing, and how can we and how do you think we can improve?
Can I
Now,
stop you right there, bro? Can I stop you right there, bro?
yeah, of course.
That's what I don't like about it. And I'm
But,
gonna tell you. Hold on, hold on,
yeah.
hold on.
No,
But
no,
this
no, no,
is
no, no, no. Because the thing is, I don't have he doesn't have to listen to Troy Aikman. He
hold on.
can
Yeah,
just
yeah, 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 yeah. No, I get that. But this is why I don't like it. I'm gonna let you go because that was your point. But the reason why
You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
for the first time in 2026, but also it's the last Dolphins game of the season and the year. I don't like the way the NFL does the seasons by year, if that makes sense. But the Dolphins are playing the Patriots on the road. Last Dolphins game of the 2025 season, and potentially the last game for Coach McDaniel. To delve into all of that and more, as always, I am joined by the host of Go Time Dolphins, Charlie. Tell him what time it is.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. Kadeem, let's say Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year to yourself as well.
Let's say the Miami Dolphins made it to a Super Bowl. You're a Dolphin fan, right? Miami Dolphins make it to a Super Bowl. And you know the Dolphins have a history. We got a couple rings already. Pretty good history if you ask Sherrod Steve, right? Pretty historic. And I kind of second that as well. It's just, previously the Dolphins ain't it. And we're like the bottom of the barrel of the franchises in the league right now. But let's say the Dolphins make it to the Super Bowl in your time. And a game goes into overtime, super good game. Dolphins are up in overtime, but the other team has to get the ball, right? This team throws a touchdown pass, right? It's overtime to tie it up. It gets broken up. Dolphins celebrate. People have on Super Bowl champion hats. The field is mobbed. People are actually touching the trophy already. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we did it. Pictures are being taken. Media is all everywhere, right? We did it. And then turns out, there's a flag on the play. Oh, so we got to run this play all the way back, right? So they say pass interference. So the first thing you want to do as a fan is like, let's see this pass interference, right? That we didn't know about for a few minutes now. Like the field has been overcome. People already got on the championship hats. Let's see how bad this pass interference is. And you look at the replay, and it's not even pass interference at all. Like you would think, like, oh, this got to be all right. Well, let's see how close it was. Nah, there was no pass interference at all. The team throws a touchdown very next play. They end up winning the game. They win the Super Bowl. And the Dolphins don't make it back to the championship for 22 years. As a Dolphin fan, you'll be sour about that, right?
Sour wouldn't be the word that I would choose. We don't swear over here on Go Time Dolphins, but I swear.
Well, you kind of do sometimes.
Yeah, I'd be effing peed off, to say the least.
All right, that's fair, because I was too. And not only that, I had this moment with my brother. We shared this moment together. We already hugged and celebrated and rejoiced, and we're jumping around the living room. And then we gotta chill. Nah, and we lose. So this team that we lost to is the team that I hate the most in my whole life. And for those who don't know, we're talking about the Miami Hurricanes right now. This is what happened to the Miami Hurricanes. I dislike Ohio State more than I dislike the paper
Bills,
planes, the Bills, the
Patriots.
Patriots, Florida State. Like, yo, Ohio State is at the top of the I can't stand this franchise food chain for me. And for so long, Kadeem, I thought there was only a couple people that felt that type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know they were Hurricane fans too, but I didn't know. I thought, hey, bro, you might want to chill. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you let this game get to you a little bit too much in your life. Maybe sports is like hit you a little bit too much in life. You might want to chill with this hatred that you got for Ohio State. 22 years later, Kadeem, the Miami Hurricanes play Ohio State for the first time ever in the college football playoff, and we are 10-point underdogs. We're not even supposed to win this. I am in the state of Texas, and me and my brother contemplated going to this game, but we were like, this is not really the team I want to go up against Ohio State with. And the Hurricanes. I say what?
Lo and behold.
And the Hurricanes defeat Ohio State. Not even close. Bruh. I'm looking at all the reactions on YouTube and all the social medias and Hurricane fans and stuff. And all the Ohio State fans before the game, they'll be like, I don't know why they have a problem with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't hate Miami. Why Miami fans got problems with us? Why you guys always starting stuff? Like, yo, like we were literally robbed of a championship. Like this get back that we just got on y'all is not even enough. It's not even we are owed more than just this. You feel me? There's a world, Kadeem, where I'm sure you know a lot of Miami history, where I asked a Miami native, I'm like, bro, this is before this weekend. I'm like, bro, you could only have one thing happen. This is for the Miami sports fan, right? The Hurricane fan, because there's some people from Miami that are, I don't know how they end up as Florida State fans, but they do, right? But I asked this fan, I'm like, bro, it's a Miami Hurricane, Miami Heat, Miami Dolphin, Miami everything fan like me. And I asked this person, you can only have one thing happen. You can change history with your answer. Would you have rather the Miami Hurricanes have won the 2002 Fiesta Bowl and that penalty never got called and he never robbed us? Or if you do go with that, you have to take away the Game 6 Ray Allen shot for the Miami Heat. In my opinion, the best shot ever in basketball history. Did not even look down. Game 6, you missed the shot. Game's over. You guys lose a second consecutive championship. If you're a Heat fan and you're from Miami, you know how big this shot means to the city and everything. And this person didn't know the answer. He's like, I don't know, bro. That's a tough one. Like, that's how serious this 2002 Fiesta Bowl was. And in reality, the answer is we shouldn't have to lose one of them because one was taken from us. We actually won that one too. You feel me? So here I am trying to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? Bring it back to the Miami Dolphins. That's why I asked you how you would feel about it. And you don't even get retribution for 22 seasons, bro.
I also feel like
2 seasons.
I also feel like you can't get retribution or revenge. Even if this happened in a championship game, it doesn't matter because that first championship, it happened. It's, not to equate to something super serious, but like an eye for an eye. An eye for an eye doesn't matter because I've already lost an eye. Like, you've taken something from me. That yes, I might have won the championship 22 years later, but the initial one still matters. Like, it's not revenge because you've taken away that championship from those players. It's kind of one thing if it happens the following season, but even then, there will be people who would have left the organization, be it coaching staff or players, who would never get to experience a ring and a championship because of something which should never have happened. So
some people never play football ever again after that game. You know what I'm saying? And to be real with you, and I'll nip this one in the bud. There was a no-hitter in baseball. You know what a no-hitter is, Kadeem?
Yeah.
All right. So there was a no-hitter in baseball where, you know, I can't remember this picture, and maybe we'll put the link in this YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can hit the link and see what I'm talking about right now. Or maybe we put both links. I don't know. So there was a no-hitter in baseball, and there was an umpire. It's the bottom of the top of the ninth, top of the ninth inning. Pitcher is, you know, you really don't know there's a no-hitter going on in the crowd until seventh inning. Like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? There's a buzz in the crowd. Like, wait, we got a no-hitter going on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe sixth inning, right? Maybe you catch it a little bit before that, but people don't really talk about it until like the seventh inning. And if you're one of those people, you probably don't even talk about it at all until it gets like, all right, it's buzzing now. And then there's these this not a stereo, it's what is it called? I forget. I don't know. Superstition. There it is. There's a superstition in baseball. Oh, you're not even supposed to talk to the pitcher in the dugout. Hey, don't say nothing to him. Don't bring it up. Just keep them like, yo, don't even go around them in baseball. It's like the superstition. And this guy pitched a no-hitter. And on the and if you're the other team who's on the other end of the no-hitter, you're like trying everything in your power. Like, no, not against us. I don't even care if it's 6-0. I don't care if it's 13-0. We're not even gonna win this. Y'all not gonna get this no-hitter on us, right? And so the other team is hitting ground balls and running through the bag. Like, yo, we trying to break this no-hitter up. It is the top of the ninth. This guy pitches a no-hitter, and it's the last out of the game. Routine ground ball. Fielder fields it, throws it to first base. Game is over. It is not even close. And, you know, the opponent was like running through the bag, trying to get there. I don't want to be the one, right? And the umpire called him safe. Bro, I'm not even a fan of this team. And the feeling that I had in my like spirit, I'm like, yo, that's wrong, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so evil. That's so wrong of a person to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, there'll be the Patrick Mahomeses in the world. You don't do that in that moment. Now, I'm not even talking about that moment. It wasn't even, no, bro. Dude was out. You feel me? And then the umpire comes out a day or two or so later and says, I was wrong. Sorry. And he was crying about it because he knew he was wrong. Took it from him, bro. Like, just took the moment from the team, from the player, from the fans, from history. Just took it. I'm like, bro, some people are just evil. But that's really all I got now. You know what I'm saying? And, bro, to see the internet going the way the internet is going, there's people where I heard them talk. I'm like, dang, so I'm not the only one. I didn't hold on to this wrongfully over 22 years. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like, it's not that big of a deal. There's other people out there who have been like, who said the same thing and felt the same thing I felt. And I'm like, man, it's crazy. So while we record, Kadeem, there's some things that are unknown. I have a desk right here, right? Because I moved a couple of times and the podcast has been moved and my background has changed a couple of times. So on this desk that I record, I have, shout out to Crochet Carroll. I have Tim Carroll's Crochet Dolphin right here. If for the audio listeners, I got the Crochet Dolphin he gave me in we were in Spain when he gave it to me. I have Game Ward Javon Holland gloves here, just sitting here on the desk. I have a 17-0 Miami Dolphins Miami Herald mug. It is from the newspaper, but it's printed on the mug. Like, it's pretty dope. 17-0 perfect season. Got a couple other things, some stuff that the fans gave me in London when we played the Jaguars. Then I have this Wheaties box. It's a Miami Hurricanes Wheaties box, and it has the legends of Miami. You see Edgerrin James on there. You see Andre Johnson on there. Warren Sapp is on there. Clint Portis on there. Ray Lewis on there. It's a gang of people. And then there's a backside. Even more lenses, right? I just keep it right here. There's no reason. It's not even neat or anything, bro. It's just here. It's just Miami. You feel me? And I got some other stuff in the back that I just never set up. And I said I was over, Kadeem, but it's really going to be over here. My bad. There's something about the Dolphins. Miami is a football city. You know, they say, oh, Chicago's a football city. Like, there's certain cities that are football cities. They're basketball cities. There's baseball cities. And then there's some football teams in the NFL that play in cities that are not necessarily football cities. It's weird like that. I don't want no part of that. But so I'm glad I live in a football city. Shout out to the Dolphins. The Dolphins have never, and I can arguably say will never, have the identity of the city of Miami. The Hurricanes have always had that. Like, they will never relinquish that either. Like, yes, it's a football city, and yes, we got Don Shula Drive. Matter of fact, I got the Don Shula autograph football here too behind. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Miami stuff up here. We got Don Shula Drive. We have Miami. We have Dan Marino Boulevard, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying the history of the Dolphins and comparing it to the history of the Hurricanes. I'm not doing that. But what I am saying is the identity of the city lives with the Hurricanes, not with the Dolphins. So when you see the emotions and the city just a different way behind the Hurricanes, I can't put it to words what it means for the Hurricanes and to be relevant again in football. But that's all I got, man.
Fun time to be a Miami fan, but I guess not a Dolphins fan. I guess starting with the Patriots game, because that's what the preview is. First and foremost, do you think this will be Coach McDaniel's last game in charge? It's been interesting. Once Tua got benched and the Dolphins were at the playoffs, there was a few reports from NFL insiders that McDaniel will be back next season. But after the blowout loss to the Bengals, it kind of changed. It was kind of like, McDaniel could be gone. And I think even up until this week, it's still 50-50. Insiders saying it's 50-50 as to whether McDaniel will be in charge come basically Monday morning, Monday afternoon. So I won't say what did your gut tell you, but do you think McDaniel will be in charge come Tuesday morning?
I'm glad you asked me what my gut tells me, because my gut and the Miami Dolphins are like it's not on the same page. Because I didn't think Gase was going to get fired. Gase got fired. I didn't think we're going to get rid of Landry. We got rid of Landry. I didn't think Flores to get fired. We got rid of Flores. I didn't think there's another one in there somewhere.
Great mid-season.
No, not necessarily. But there's some. This is more that I can't remember right now. So my gut doesn't matter. But no, I don't think Grier. I don't think McDaniel coaches his last game on Sunday. I think he's going to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in 2026. I think Black Monday come around and he's not the head coach, it will not shock me. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny you asked me that, because I was going to ask you that. So what's your answer to that question?
I said to you on a previous episode, I don't think the Dolphins have the capacity and could do a significant job of finding a new GM if they sack Mike McDaniel and are trying to find a head coach at the same time. I think the two aren't going to work. I think you need a GM in place to find a new head coach. So I don't think Mike McDaniel will be fired. I think what's quite funny, I say funny, not ha funny, but you'll remember we lose to the Paper Planes end of last season, and like immediately after, the Dolphins released a statement via Stephen Ross saying Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel will be back, the next season. And fans were fuming, going, why would he do this for? Like, why not wait and X, Y, and Z? And my thing would be, well, why would he need to wait? If Chris Grier's not going nowhere and Mike McDaniel's not going nowhere, why wait a week or two to say something which, like, you feel on that Sunday? And I feel like the same could happen on Monday. If I say Monday, if win or lose or draw, tie against the Patriots. If Stephen Ross feels it's, if Stephen Ross released a statement saying Mike McDaniel's here next season, I don't think it matters whether he waits 2 weeks and says Mike McDaniel's here next season. To me, it doesn't matter. Like, if you've decided to keep the coach, just announce it immediately after the game. So I think he will stay, but I also think he stays more because the focus this offseason is the GM and not the head coach. And as I said before, I think the moment it is mathematically, once it is assured next season the Dolphins are making the playoffs, I think that's when Mike McDaniel goes. So he probably won't see to the end of 2026, but he'll be here this summer, in my opinion.
So that's a good prop bet to make. Does Mike McDaniel see the end of the 2026 season? Which I'm taking the under, under on that one. I don't think he makes it through the entire season next season. But to pivot from there, you mentioned, well, you would think there would be a GM in place, so you don't have to go look for a GM and a coach at the same time. Because now you already put the GM behind the 8 ball because he's come in while the coaching search should have already been started. So here lies the rumor: the Miami Dolphins have hired Troy Aikman for basically a
consultancy role,
consultant to look for the new GM for the Miami Dolphins. How you feel about that? Is that significant? Is it not? Is it news or noise? Is it significant? Not significant? What do you make of it?
I think it's news. I think it's significant. I also think Dolphin fans have overreacted. It's like I woke up this morning to an ESPN notification on my watch on my phone saying the Dolphins have brought in Troy Aikman to consult with the new GM. And I go on social media and it's a bunch of Dolphin fans saying Ross has finally got it right. He's bringing in someone from outside, all this kind of stuff. And I just sat back and was like, do Dolphin fans not learn? Like, yes, you brought in someone from outside the building to help sit in on interviews. And it's also turned out that
we don't know if he's sitting in our interviews though.
I think we do. I think
so. Let's double check that because as of 3 hours ago, I didn't know if he was sitting in on interviews or not. Which it sounds like he has a lot of pointing in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? But sitting in on interviews, I don't know if he's doing that.
Yeah, NFL.com. Aikman is expected to sit in on interviews as part of this role.
That's what's up. I continue.
So yeah, it's quite significant. But again, it's like it's this whole Dolphin fans have called for ages for Stephen Ross to bring in outside help to find a new head coach or a new GM and not, basically listen to people inside the building. My issue then comes with, so you brought in Troy Aikman. Where Troy Aikman goes, yeah, hired Champ Kelly. All of a sudden, it's like it becomes a bad move. And I think what's really fun from my perspective anyway, is there's this belief around Dolphin fans and Dolphin content creators that any good GM any incoming good GM won't and doesn't want Mike McDaniel. And it's based on nothing apart from fans' opinion. So you might have a situation. So to kind of link that back to Troy Aikman, during the Steelers game, Aikman was on commentary. And in the fourth quarter, he had a massive go at Mike McDaniel for basically being behind but not going no huddle and not going up tempo. And, rips into Mike McDaniel saying, I don't understand this, X, Y, and Z. So people then went, does this mean it's the end of Mike McDaniel because Troy Aikman's coming in and Aikman said some bad things about Mike McDaniel a couple of weeks ago? It ignores the fact that during that same broadcast, Aikman was basically praised Mike McDaniel for, his run design concepts and, the offense he's built in Miami. So what is it? Does Aikman hate McDaniel, or does he, really enjoy McDaniel? But also, Aikman has nothing to do with the head coach. So yeah, I feel like fans have overreacted to Aikman coming in, but I feel like it's fans feeling vindicated that Ross has listened to someone outside the building like it really matters. It matters, but it doesn't matter, in my opinion.
So I'm not a fan of this. I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like I think you kind of hit me with this. No, maybe Sherrod Steve hit me with it. Someone hit me with this some time ago, a few weeks ago. And I feel like if you're the head of a $1 billion company and you're in a $1 billion industry, I would like to think I know my way around it. I would know where I want to go with certain things, certain positions. I know who does certain things that I like and don't like. I know what this company is doing. Like I would know my competitors, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to think I would know them well. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. So I don't like the idea that we have a front office of people. And when I say front office, yeah, you're going to clean house, right? Eventually, you're going to clean house. But there's a nucleus of people around Ross that never rotate. That is, and in this conversation, that's who I'm calling the front office right now. So Ross's nucleus, obviously, I don't want to say that. So the front office has to make a decision on this hire. And I just would like to think that you have a direction of where you want to go with this. So when you hire somebody else to do it for you, to me, that feels like, why do you need someone that's not even affiliated, by the way, like this person's opinion, because you respect that person's opinion, which is also cool. You respect this person's opinion, so you hire them and say, oh, yeah, we're going to have you head the search. And then next thing you know, let's say you do like, or you don't like the person that this guy likes. So Aikman chooses Chip Kelly. You know what I'm saying? He chooses Chip Kelly, and Ross is like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's that mean if that's the case? Then the flip side is you do choose the guy that he likes, and he stinks up the joint. What's that mean? So I don't love it for a lot of reasons. Sherrod Steve, me and Sherrod Steve, bro, sometimes we're on the same page, sometimes we're not. When we are, it's wonderful. When we're not, it's kind of wonderful too. Like that, I think that's what friends are. You know what I'm saying? So he did point something out where Troy Aikman has access to everyone every single week, which is a unique advantage. You know what I'm saying? So he has unique access to resources, so to speak. So here's where what he believes personally can't have influence on what we want, right? Because what if he doesn't like someone personally for a personal reason? You know what I'm saying? But that guy is the best coach for the Dolphins. You think he'll tell you, he'll let us know that? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that goes, but the fact that he does have unique access to resources, it's like, well, there are some things that he can share with Ross and the front office and say, well, look, I think this guy is this, and I think that guy is that, and it's a unique thing. However, I don't think this is news, in my opinion. I kind of don't like it, and I kind of feel like we don't have a sense of direction, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, but I don't love this. There's things about it that I do like, but I don't love this.
I think, and I can understand where you're coming from. I think if you're Stephen Ross, the people you've had around you for the last, even say like 10 years, I can't imagine it's changed too much.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you've now lost Chris Grier, and I'm gonna hate myself for misremembering the guy who passed away a couple of years ago.
Jason.
Yes. Jason
Can't-
Jenkins.
Yeah, Jason Jenkins.
So, as far as I know, they're probably the two people who he doesn't have around him, from a couple of years ago. You brought in Champ Kelly, but it's essentially it's what the direction Stephen Ross and his people have gone in over the last 5-10 years hasn't worked. It's brought you no division titles, no playoff wins. So I understand going outside the building and be like, hey, what do you think of what we're doing, and how can we and how do you think we can improve?
Can I stop you right there, bro? Can I stop you right there, bro?
Yeah, of course.
That's what I don't like about it.
No, because the thing is, I don't have he doesn't have to listen to Troy Aikman.
Hold on, yeah. No, I get that, but this is why I don't like it. I'm gonna let you go because that was your point. But the reason why I don't like it is because I think that says we're not football people. And far be it for me to tell a billionaire not to be a football person. You know what I'm saying? However you made your money in your business and in your life is how you made it. You know what I'm saying? So I just, for a football fan, a fan like a lot of fans is for whatever reason they think these boys got to figure it out when not in reality they're just playing Madden and everybody is a fan of the team. That's all they're doing. So this kind of tells me that maybe the Dolphins front office aren't football people, and that's why they have to go outside of their own to well, how do you think we could be better? And you know what I'm saying? Now and then there might be other teams who are bro. We're football people here in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? We are football people here in Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? And I just threw those teams out. I think Pittsburgh really is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Green Bay isn't, but the reason why I say that is and that's why I don't love it, because I would like to think we were already football people, but there's a chance, and this might be telling where we don't have a football front office. We just got rich people in the front office that want to win but don't know how to, and then that's why we have to outsource something like this.
But then you can have football people in the front office, but it hasn't worked. Like
no, I don't think so, bro. Same thing with the Cowboys, because the Cowboys have football people. Cowboys are football people. That front office are football people through and through. You see what I'm saying? So now,
and how many Super Bowl wins have they had in the last 10-15 years?
But how many have they had with that nucleus though? That matters.
When was the last Super? I genuinely don't know. When was the last Super Bowl that the Cowboys won?
It was in the 90s, but they won 3. I want to say in the 90s. With that nucleus. So in the Jerry Jones nucleus, and I could be mistaken. I really could be mistaken. In the Jerry Jones ran Cowboys, I think they have 3 or maybe even 4. I want to say 3 for sure, maybe even 4.
They won the Super Bowl 92, 93, and 95.
All right, so they got 3 with under Jerry Jones. Right?
Yeah. So 30 years without Super Bowl.
My point is, but they're still football. They've done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my point is, I don't think we're football people.
Well, hold on. So, but they've done it. But if you haven't done it in 30 years, isn't the definition of insanity doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results? So for the last 30 years, you have no Super Bowl rings.
I'm asking you a question. The question is, what does it look like, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, now, if they look like the Dolphins in the past 30 years, yeah, that's insanity, and it's terrible. But they haven't looked like us in the past 30 years. They've had bites at the apple in the past 30 years. They had pretty good football teams in the past 30 years. We haven't even had pretty good football teams. Like, I'm not even tripping with that. We've had a couple teams in 30 years that look like, we might, maybe 4 years. Maybe 4. You know what? Maybe 4. Like, I can't even get to 5. Maybe 4 teams that Miami Dolphin teams have looked, there's something here in 30 seasons. How many? And I hate that I have to say this because I don't even. There's some friends that I got, our Cowboy friends. I hope they never come across this video. You know what I'm saying? But the Cowboys have had teams where it's like, they're knocking on the door again. You see what I'm saying?
Cool, but the door never opened because so even something as simple as getting rid of Micah Parsons. Like, one of the negatives around Jerry Jones is that he's too involved. Like, for keeping who do just stood on the sideline to clap for ages? Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's essentially is the aim is to win a Super Bowl, not to have really good teams and knock on the door. You want to win a Super Bowl, and if the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years, why aren't I personally believe the Cowboys should be like, hey, what are we doing, or how can we get back to where we were 30 years ago?
I think that
And going
I think the
and
Cowboys
going
know
outside.
that, though.
Pardon?
I think the Cowboys do know that, and they're trying. And I don't think the Dolphins know that at all. And my question to you is, who has been closer in the past 30 years? And you're going to say the Cowboys.
Yeah, but then I also believe 31 teams fell every single season.
I agree.
So if you're one of those 31 teams that failed, you should be doing everything possible to succeed.
But I don't think if you're one of those 31 teams that failed, that you have to outsource your GM search.
Do you know what? We'll bring it fully in-house. So we've got some plans coming up in the next few months, yeah. And one of the things
that's perfect. That's perfect.
One of the things we've discussed is
Mhm.
speaking to friends about how we can, take that next step.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some of those people won't be Dolphin fans, and I'm pretty sure the majority aren't podcasters. Or at the very least, aren't podcasters. They might listen to podcasts, but they're not podcasters.
Here's
So,
why.
so my argument would be, why are we going to non-podcasters to tell us how to improve our podcast and our show?
We're not going to. The Dolphins aren't going to non-podcasters though.
No,
the Dolphins
no,
aren't going to people that are not football people. And you know the irony of this conversation.
No.
You know the irony of this conversation.
What's the irony?
Troy Aikman's a Cowboy.
Yeah,
that's my point. Like, there are football people that you had to go get one of them to help you. That's even more ironic.
But I don't see it as a bad thing.
I think it is a bad thing. I think it's telling, and I think it's the Dolphins saying it is falling on the sword that we do not know what we're doing. Now, it's a good thing because they are actually doing something other than what they've been doing. So for everyone who talked about Chris Grier being in the building for 20 years, this might be why this is your answer. Like, hey, maybe he was the one that knew football.
So the one who knew football oversaw 20 years of no playoff wins.
Hey, I said maybe, and two, he wasn't in that position for 20 years though.
Okay, but so the one who was in the building or in a position for the last 6 years oversaw no playoff wins. People hate him for the contract he handed the quarterback, and the rebuild you started a couple of years ago never really took off outside of one season where you were really, really good and still lost in the playoffs.
And he's also the same one responsible for 2 of those 4 teams in the past 30 years that actually did something for him.
Yeah.
So,
again,
I hear everything you're saying, but this still remains probably the truth. We don't know it for sure, but it's probably has some merit.
But then we also know it's not just Troy Aikman. Like, Marino's going to be around. And
hold on. So now, before you put me in this box and make me have to say something that I'm not gonna like having to say on a Miami Dolphin podcast,
I'll say it for you. Marino shouldn't be involved.
No. I just want to be very clear. I don't know. There's this thought in football. It's just a thought, and the thought is the best players don't make good coaches.
That's across sports.
Let me get it out. And the players that weren't really that good make better coaches. I'm just saying, I don't know that Dan Marino has it in him to be some type of savant of a front office in football just because he was one of the best quarterbacks ever. I think that's fair to say. You know what I'm saying? And there's look at John Elway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but you're gonna find a couple few in between. Like, you might get a John Lynch out of it, where it's like, oh, that is working out. And how much of John Lynch's decisions are solely John Lynch decisions and not Kyle Shanahan? You know what I'm saying? So that could get tricky. But yeah, we do got Marino. And some believe Tua was Marino's pick. So now what?
And Marino's a football guy, right?
I'm just, all I'm saying is,
and I'm not ask the question. And Marino's a football guy, right?
I'm not talking. I'm to see. This is where I knew where it was going to go. So that's why I was trying to say, like, I don't know that Marino's a football guy though. I just know he was the best quarterback ever. He was just one of the best quarterbacks ever. That doesn't make him a football guy. Okay,
so then let's take a step back. What do you classify as a football guy? Like, no trick question.
So hold on. I want to be clear. And I don't know that I said football guy. I don't hold up, because I know we could just rewind this thing real quick. But I don't know that I said football guy. But I will say, like, yeah, I probably did say football guy. So here's what I'm saying is, someone like, because if we're gonna go where we're going, where you're dancing now I can make the argument that Jerry Jones is more of a football guy than Dan Marino. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a fair argument to have, because one of them played football at the highest level for like who knows how many years, and the other just was behind the scenes winning at the highest level for who knows how many years. So that's not a really fair comparison. So what all I'm saying is, the Dallas Cowboys front office is full of football people. The Miami Dolphins front office does not come off as a team that has nothing but football people in their front office.
But again, what is a football person? Like, define what a football person is. Because technically, if you work in football, you're a football person.
All right, so my definition of a football person is someone who allocates 5 days of their life to football at the highest level. I don't think Dan Marino allocates 5 days of his life to football at the highest level.
I think that's a very vague.
Oh, you just said give me my definition.
No, you did, but okay. So when I and again,
how could that be vague? I think that's pretty good.
So say again, someone who spends with
5 days. 5 days of their life is dedicated to football.
So I was gonna say, yeah, like whether Marino eats,
and I'll be clear before I let you go. I did say at the highest level, but I don't think it has to be at the highest level either. But just 5 days goes to football out of this person's life.
I think one of the criticisms of Stephen Ross, and where he's not where he's not what you would consider a football person compared to a Jerry Jones, is Stephen Ross has interests outside of the Miami Dolphins. So Stephen Ross could very easily spend his Monday to Saturday working on his other businesses, and then on a Sunday get to Hard Rock Stadium, shake Kadeem Simmons' hands, and then go watch the Dolphins.
You my dog. That's why you my dog, Kadeem. Because I was gonna say that too. I was gonna say the same thing.
And yeah, so and it's funny. There's an article from Barry Jackson at the Miami Herald, which came out last week on the 28th of December. And it's a 10-step plan for Stephen Ross, what he should and shouldn't do.
I remember seeing it. But hold on, we about to go into that?
Only because there's 2 points 3 and 4 go to what we're talking about.
Can we just make point 3 and 4, please? Like, instead of going through all the points.
Oh, you know, I was never going to go through all the points.
All right, go ahead.
But point 3 by Barry Jackson is, as the steward of the franchise, please do what your hardest working players do. Be the first one in the building and the last one out, at least for the next 6 weeks. Take a temporary break from his real estate ventures and allocate all of his time to finding the best coach and the best general manager. And then point 4 is to call other owners for input on potential general manager candidates, which is not what he's done with Aikman, but he's gone outside and be like, hey, what do you think? So Barry Jackson is basically saying, Stephen Ross, focus fully on the Miami Dolphins and essentially get outside help in finding a new GM.
So, but he did say other owners, right? Barry Jackson, right?
Yes, other owners, yeah.
And that's why I didn't like that, because I'm like, bro, you think other owners are gonna tip you off to some of the things that they might want to do in the future? Like, yo,
100%, yeah.
I kind of like somebody that I don't want you to know about. You know what I'm saying? So here's my thing about this. I'm okay with Ross not being a football guy. I have nothing to say about Ross not being a football guy. I'm okay with that. Now, my thing is, it's, we're talking about the nucleus of the Miami Dolphins. Now, it appears, and I don't know this for sure, but it seems to me that the people around him are not football guys either. That's my point. Like, no one is a football guy. And it comes off to me that Chris Grier was their football guy. And that's why Chris Grier got so much leeway, because there's so much trust there. And to be fair, I do think Chris Grier did a pretty good job for the 6 seasons that he had, and he blew it in an area where you're not allowed to blow it, and that's why you got to go. And I'm okay with that as well. You know what I'm saying? So now, not being football people, as it appears in Charlie Touche's eyes, you have to find peace. And it seems like going to find Troy Aikman, someone I gotta imagine you have a relationship with. Maybe you don't, but maybe you just trust his acumen because he's on TV every day. I don't know. And you're saying, well, I think Troy Aikman's a football guy. Let me get his opinion and then just go with whatever he tells me to. And that could be a possibility. He's a businessman. Maybe he just goes to like, look, you do football every day. You know what I'm saying? Who do you like? That's who I'm going with. And I'm going to see if this person takes me to where I want to go. And I don't love that, Kadeem, because you're shooting blind, bro. You're just hoping, bro. That's playing roulette, literally.
But then
that's gambling right there, Kadeem.
But then I imagine if Ross doesn't know, he kind of has to go in blind and ask someone else. Like, again, so like, I don't know how to play.
But my hope, Kadeem, my hope was that there would be more football people in a football building than one person and the people around you, so you could have a plethora of options. Like, all right, now, hold on.
No. What?
Plethora. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I heard someone with an accent from a different country say plethora. I like, that was pretty cool. So I wanted to go with plethora. But yeah, so I just hope that you would have options and different. Kadeem, you know how we have, multiple directions to get to the desired address?
Of course.
It doesn't seem like the Dolphins have multiple directions they can take to get to the desired address. And it seems like they're only taking one direction and they keep coming up with like, yo, that was not the right direction. And I don't love that, bro. So I was hoping we would have multiple options here by now. Like, yo, man, this is going to be tough. Tom Telesco's out there. But yeah, we could go this route. And, I had a relationship with this guy for 10 years, and I think I like him. And I don't think we're getting none of that. I think we're just going to get, whatever Troy Aikman says, let's just do that. I don't love it.
I'm looking at the Dolphins front office staff. Obviously, we've got Stephen Ross as the chairman, managing general.
Just to be clear, I understand that there's a front office, right? And I understand that there are several people in the actual front office that are football people. I was talking about the nucleus around Stephen Ross, not the quote unquote front office of the Miami Dolphins. Because we're in transition, the reason why I said front office is because there is actually no front office right now. But go ahead.
No, so like you've got Tom Garfinkel, the vice chairman and president and CEO of the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
But his background, while in sports, it comes from other sports. So the Arizona Diamondbacks, the San Diego Padres, and then in 2013, he comes in as president and CEO of the Dolphins. There's a bunch of people who are like vice chairman of the Dolphins who have no history in football. They come from his real estate stuff. Mm-hmm. The current assistant GM is Marvin Allen. And then you got like the senior vice president and someone who, if he's not a football person, he's very good with numbers. Brandon Shaw. Being in the building
You know what's funny about this? This is on brand for football owners in the 90s. And in this 2025. The reason why I say that, Kadeem, is in the 90s, there was no cap on There was no cap on rookie salaries. So a quarterback could come in and say, hey, I want $30 million. I was picked first overall. That means you believe in me, and this is my price. And then owners were held hostage at this person's asking price. You know what I'm saying? Whatever this person asked, that's what they had to give them, or else you selected this person for no reason. And once upon a time, this is more recent than ever now. Prior to Carson Palmer, quarterbacks did not get traded. So there was this business-oriented belief where, I am successful in whatever business that I have. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hating on none of these owners. I am successful in business outside of football, and I'm looking at football as a business. So I know I need a return on my investment. So I'm going to keep this quarterback who is trash. You know what I'm saying? Because I paid him not to be trash. So they would not move on from pieces because they paid pieces. And it wasn't until I feel like the 2000s and more recent than that, that teams were happier to cut their losses sooner and faster because they seen that it was the best thing to do and rendered better results. And that's not business 101 per se, you know what I'm saying? But my point is, all of these owners use their business mind, but something that I learned in the music industry was, bro, this is the music business. You have to have music and you have to have business. So if I could take a phrase from the music business, this is the football business. You can't just have business and expect your football team to be good if you don't have football in the football business. And I think that's where a lot of these owners are. They still operate that way. And I think the ones who don't operate that way probably have better football teams, in my opinion. And I don't know that for a fact, but if we did the homework, I probably right about that.
I think, but that's also why the Dolphins, and it's the Dolphins. It's why they lead the league, or the top of the league in the facilities and all that kind of stuff. Because if we're being completely honest, Ross is a businessman and he wants his employees to be happy. So he gives them brand new stadium, or like upgrades the stadium, brand new training facility, all this kind of stuff. And it's probably why fans hate him and Chris Grier so much, because it's like Ross trusted Chris Grier to be like, hey, you're a football guy. I need you to look after the football side of this team. And there's no return on investment. There's no ring. So listen, we don't know who the GM is going to be.
To be fair, he did kind of interrupt with the process. I'm just saying, like, yo, you're not helping when you're losing first round and third round picks while this man is trying to build a franchise. But then
it goes back to he interrupting the process to try and put a win into. Like, again, I didn't
say he wasn't trying. I didn't say he didn't try, but I did say he did interfere with Chris Grier's process. And Chris Grier still didn't get the line right. I need to say this. My dog did not get the line right, and I need my line to be right for my other homeboy. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't get it right. That being said, it doesn't mean that Ross did not interfere, because we needed those picks. Bro, with all the stuff that Chris Grier was flipping around and looking really good with these flipping of picks. Yo, you don't think we could have used an extra 1 and a 3 that we didn't have because of Ross?
No. Okay. An extra 1 and 3 would be nice, but then we'll sit back here and go, let me finish. It would be nice, but all that flipping, what do you have to show for it?
And I also got to say, Ross is the reason why Flores went AWOL on us, which was Grier's pick. So, like, yo, the same way the Dolphins are getting fans get on Grier and Tua, it's like, yo, y'all arrows are pointed at the wrong person. It's supposed to be pointed at Ross because he interfered, and we lost a whole coach who knows how this coach could have panned out if he bro. Nah, bro.
No,
Nah, bro. This has to be said. This has to be said.
It doesn't though, because
who knows how
no.
Flores could have been panned out if had we not tampered before he even got an opportunity to coach the team.
So what, you want two more offensive coordinators? Why pretend like sometimes you have to interfere?
But
What's
that
that
didn't
thing?
happen though, Kadeem. This happened before Flores even called a play. Before Flores even called a play, he was already tampered with. He was already checked out. Like, yo, this is my first opportunity as a head coach. And before I can even have a team meeting, the owner told me to throw games.
Allegedly.
How do you think that affects affects him as a coach moving forward?
First of all, allegedly.
Allegedly. My dog. Shout out to my dog Kadeem coming through.
Allegedly, but also in the nicest way possible, Brian Flores allegedly isn't the first or won't be the last head coach to come into a job and be like, hey, we need you to lose some games for us. And also, it didn't really matter
100%.
because that Bengals game, they already had the first seed already wrapped up. But Brian Flores is also the one. Yes, he may or may not have been told to lose some games, but how about you don't have a quarterback in the building and you waste the first 2 years of his development and his contract, which is your argument for why you don't like Brian Flores. But all of a sudden, it's Stephen Ross's fault.
No one screams louder about the sabotage that Flores did to my homeboy Tua Tagovailoa. Like, no one screams louder about the sabotage than me. However, the derailment of Flores happened before that. So my point is saying, like, yo, Ross allegedly went to Flores with this foolishness, and then Flores could not even coach the team the way he wanted to because of this. And then if we're listening to Patrick Fitzmagic, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Flores basically put himself on a whole island and didn't even talk to nobody else no more. Like, yo, I'm doing what I want to do. This is my team now, and I can't trust nobody here. Which, can you even blame someone for not trusting someone in the organization when that happens to you? So yes,
grow up.
Like, grow up, like, bro. How can I trust the people y'all tell me to work with when y'all trying to set me up to be a loser? That's crazy, bro. At the end of the day, it's madness, and that came from Ross. You know what I'm saying? So that's it trickled down, bro. Like the head coach. Matter of fact, the GM didn't get a good a just opportunity. The head coach didn't, and neither did the quarterback. It got to be cut off at the head of the snake. If we're being honest, none of them got a fair shot. None of them. None. So hold up, Kadeem. You telling me Tua got a fair shot? I just need a yes or no real quick.
Dude, I'm not rewriting history in 2026.
Come on, bro. Just give me a yes. Did Tua get a fair shot?
No, because this is stupid. Okay, Brian Flores didn't get a fair shot, which means that 2 years later, he's going to sabotage himself even more.
That's not. No. I agree with you, Kadeem. Yeah, he sabotaged himself, his own career too. But I'm not saying that's not true, bro. But the truth remains, it's still true. Like, Tua didn't get a fair shot. Flores didn't get a fair shot. Grier didn't get a fair shot.
No. I'm sorry. Brian Flores did get a fair shot because if allegedly,
I don't even like Flores, but I can say he didn't get a fair shot.
If allegedly the owner comes to you and says, "Hey, I want you to do something," no, you turn around and do. You say, "No, I'm not doing it," which is exactly what he did when Ross tried to have him meet with Tom Brady. Said, "You know what? I want no part of this," and he left. Brian Flores could have done that.
That doesn't mess with the chemistry of the environment, the atmosphere of the whole building.
What if Brian Flores stood up for himself and said, "No, I'm not doing this"?
No. Before that, what you said before that, if allegedly the owner has a clandestine meeting with you on a boat and tells you to sabotage everything, and then you say no, and then you go into said building, that doesn't no,
because that happened 2 years into Brian Flores' tenure as a Miami Dolphin.
No, it did.
The Tom Brady stuff. The Tom Brady stuff happened when Tua was in the building.
I want to be clear.
The Tom Brady stuff happened when Tua was in the building.
I want to be clear. You're saying the Tom Brady, the alleged meeting with Stephen Ross happened after Tua was in the building, correct?
100% yes.
And I'm saying, you still there? Because you just froze on us.
I'm still here.
All right. I'm saying that meeting happened before Tua was in the building. Can we get some facts, please? I mean, one of us got to be wrong here.
Tom Brady, Stephen Ross meeting. Let's have a look. We're both right and both wrong. Genuinely. No, seriously. Following a 6-month investigation, Stephen Ross and Vice Chairman partner Bruce Beal violated the anti-tampering policy on 3 occasions from 2019 to 2022 in conversations with quarterback Tom Brady and the agent for then Saints coach Sean Payton.
Kadeem, it happened in 2019 is my point.
To 2022.
No. We're not talking about all the other stuff. We're talking about.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. I literally read it out. No. I'm
gonna let you live.
No. I'm going to bring up. I literally read out the years in which this allegedly took place.
Which makes it
and
worse.
Your response is to go, no, I'm wrong, bro. How can I be wrong if I'm being that? Hold on,
because we're talking about one instance, and you brought up 3 or 4 and across 3 seasons. But it's cool. Bro.
No, don't do this.
On,
I'm reading.
I don't want to win like this. I don't want to do this.
Thing is, it's not winning. I'm bringing it up right here, right now. So this is the Dolphins. As you can see, Dolphins lose picks for Tom Brady and Sean Payton. Yes or no?
Yes.
And that's what we want. That's what you want me to fact check, right?
No.
One more fact check.
I wanted you to fact check when the meeting of the yacht with Flores was. It's all right, bro. I kind of know when it was. I'm trying to tell you.
Hold on. Let's make this bigger. You can read that, right?
I will say it's the tampering has happened so many times that it proves my point that Grier, Ross, or Grier, Flores, and Tua didn't get a fair opportunity. This is just proving my point.
Wait. What year was that I just highlighted?
2021.
And who was in the building in 2021?
All right. So what's that say though? Like you just saying?
Yeah. So I said we were both right because it's once again.
You just highlighted a year and said, what does the year say? What does it say about that
Ross
year?
And Bill tampered with Brady once again following the 2021 season.
It says once again?
Yes. Which is what I said.
When was
so it starts in 2019 and it happens again through 2022. So that's why I said we are.
I could do okay, bro.
No. Listen.
It's okay, bro. It's all right, bro. It's okay.
No, it's the thing is, this is just annoying at this point because it's like it says from 2019 where you said it happened through to 2022. So that's not like we were both right.
But they did not meet on.
Let me finish. If you want me to then find the exact one with Brian Flores, I'm not.
Bro, we don't have to do this, bro.
No, we do because one of us is going to be right.
I don't want to be right like this, bro. I just let's just get into overtime, bro.
I'm not getting to overtime. Nope. I'm being petty. I'm being annoying. So
also for everyone paying attention to the I keep these goggles on the desk for some reason. I don't know why I keep these over here, but I keep them over here. Since we're going over everything that I keep on the desk. I got the goggles, I got the cold weather attire, just in case. I don't know. Got some pretty cool stuff. Got the victory visor. Gotta have the victory visor on the desk. Feel me? All right.
This is annoying.
This is not good podcasting, bro.
It's not good podcasting because
bro. Let's go to overtime.
Thing is, you say get to overtime. I'm gonna have to get into overtime and play the music. Yeah. No, it's fine. Get into overtime.
Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time.
While you give us your prediction of the Dolphin Patriot game, which means nothing at this point, I'm going to find out when this meeting took place. So what do you think? What does it even matter at this point?
We don't have to. So, but the game, I would say, I think we lose. I think the Patriots are playing for something. I think we lose. I think we're not putting our players in the best position to win. No one's playing. Actually, we're happy about HN not being put in the fire. Waddle's not being put in the fire. Waddle, in Charlie Touche's opinion, according to the last podcast, has played his last snap as a Miami Dolphin, and I think it would be proven in the next 3 months. But yeah, man. So it is what it is. It looked like Stat Check has brought something up. If you're an audio listener, let's see what Kadeem has.
CBS News: Miami Dolphins reportedly wanted Brian Flores to tamper with Tom Brady in 2020. It says there's an accusation that Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross tried to get Flores to tamper with a prominent quarterback during the winter of 2020. Charlie, the winter of 2020, who was in the building as the Miami Dolphins quarterback?
Was Tua in the building in 2020, Kadeem?
He was in the building in 2020.
All right. We done?
We'll be done when you admit that I was right.
All right, you was right for now.
No,
Bro, you was right for now, bro.
No. What do you mean for now? Like, dude, don't do this.
Right. So, Kadeem, I just want to be clear. What you're saying is, so what happened in 2019? But just be clear. What you're saying is, this happened during the football season while Tua was on the team, and that's when Ross tells Flores, "Hey, 100,000 a loss." Allegedly, you're saying 2020.
No, I'm saying
winter 2020.
Winter 2020, according to this article, was when Ross said to Flores, "Hey, come meet me on this yacht." And then, oh, look happened to be here. So that is that conversation.
I'm glad we hashed this out, because now we have a very good cliffhanger for the next episode on Monday. We're gonna have some answers for everyone. Tune back in on Monday to get on Black Monday. We're gonna see if McDaniel still has a job, but we're also gonna see who was right, Charlie Touche or Kadeem Simmons. See us on the way out, Kadeem. Tell us who wins the game though before we go.
Patriots win. There's no Devon Achan. It sounds like the Dolphins missing quite a few players. The Patriots, yeah, I don't think it'll be close either. And that could play a factor in Mike McDaniel losing his job if he loses heavily again when you're still trying to evaluate talent. So Patriots win. I say Patriots win by 2 scores.
Hold up, before you get us out of here, just know if I was to use curse words, I would use one right now and say what I would say, and then I would say Ohio State after that. But go ahead, get us out of here.
We don't get demonetized for swearing. No, yeah, YouTube changed their policies, so you can swear.
Yeah, I don't swear like in my regular conversation.
I do. Fuck the Jets. Fuck Ohio State. It's cool. We're there.
Hey,
so
my dog.
That is the perfect way to end this episode of Go Time Dolphins and the first episode of Go Time Dolphins for 2026. Here's to a much better year as Miami Dolphin fans. Until the next time, we shall see you soon. Peace.
Go.